lower back pain, middle and upper, what we're going to talk about today. This is kind of a part 2. I think I'm going to have to put this off on this thing. It's really windy here today. So we're going to talk about middle and upper back pain as well. And these are the number one causes other than like personal injury or something that a doctor might do in a surgery that leaves a permanent issue there, which, by the way, is not permanent, but it's definitely devastating to the body. So as you can see, there's a lot of wind here, and I kind of picked this spot out. I'm going to try and do 2 live videos today. But let's get back to lower back pain. Number one cause, financial issues and a lack of just financial support. That's the number one cause of lower back pain, because that's where it settles. And we talked about in the other one, if you want to go back and check it, that would be a good idea. There's some good information there. When we get really frightened, I'm talking about really frightened, our kneecaps will start to shake up and down. And we can leave us with pain in our knees. It can ache for hours, you know. And so, other than, like I said, personal injury, a doctor doing a surgery that, to me, any surgery is not a good thing, because those things could have been prevented. Yes, we're in Jet Alley here. It's hard to get away from these guys. So you hear one go by once in a while. And these are also the things that distract us from our focus. It pulls our focus away. And part of the breathing and the qigong and the realization of what's going on in our lives pulls, or that's what we're focused on, right? We're trying to, and all these distractions around us are pulling us away from that, and we kind of lose our way. Well, part of what we're doing here is trying to help you realize that's what they are. They're distractions. They're pulling you away from your sanity, really, your common sense, because common sense is not that common anymore. Now, most of the stress and the issues created in back pain, okay, are emotional. And if we're not willing to give up our emotional attachment to what is creating that, we're in for a long time of pain and suffering, inflammation and swelling in our bodies. It changes the PSI of our body, and it hurts. And there's usually acids involved, and acids burn. It's such an incredible world, and we have been so deceived throughout our lives. If you didn't see my article today about hypnosis and the things that we are trained to do that affect our lives, so it's a good article to go back and read. Our middle back pain is pretty amazing too, and that is middle back pain comes from guilt, really, and feeling like we're stuck and we just can't move no matter what we do, you know. And it goes right back to finance, and it goes back to our emotional attachment, where we're trying to be maybe accepted, and we're trying to be everybody's friend. And it doesn't work that way. And people are going to have opinions of you no matter who you are. So if you want to be somebody different, change. We get stuck in these patterns and these pathways, and every time something comes up that challenges us to look at something new, we automatically revert. We automatically revert to an old pattern that puts a wall between us and that other person's conversation, and we completely shut down. Those are the things we need to let go of. Those are not serving you at all. They're never going to serve you. So if you know someone, or you are someone who is having these issues, please leave a comment, hit like, love, happy, laughter, whatever, because laughter is the best medicine. And if you notice, our lymphatic system and all our lymph nodes, where they are clustered, you know, under the arms, the neck, the legs, those are the spots we're ticklish in. And what does tickling do? Makes you laugh. Not being held down and tickled to the point that you that you can't handle it anymore, but that is true. They're ticklish spots, and they love to be moved. They love to expand and contract, and they bring in toxic waste, and they neutralize those from like a 3 pH to like a 6.5, so it can travel the rest of the way through the body and be eliminated, whether that's through your third kidney, your skin, or through your kidneys when you urinate. Because that's what sweat is. It's urine. So you're urinating through your skin. And that's why, over time, if you don't wash it off every day, it stinks. So, there, you know, all that guilt we carry around with us, that's all built on other people's opinions of us. And we took those on because we didn't know how to defend ourselves. And I'll tell you right now, it's a crock, it's a lie, it's someone else's opinion. And it doesn't mean that it's yours, and your opinion of you and their opinion of you does not have to match, ever. So you can feel pretty good about that. And I hope you do feel good if you don't have those kind of things going on in your life where you're not carrying that guilt in the middle of your back, you know, and it hurts to move, and you have a hard time moving forward. And that brings us to another part, is the hips. That can be part of the small of the back issue too. There's a lot of stress and strain there. You see people, they can barely move their hips. There's a great fear of moving forward in their life. Frozen shoulders, same thing. It's stress related, and it's the fear of moving forward. You know, your arms just can't get out there, but through breath, through understanding, through learning new things about yourself and exploring the world around you, you open up to it. And that's why I have all these, try to keep my videos where we have a great distance. Like I'm close here, right? Well, I'm going to show you this river, and you'll have a long shot, and you'll be able to see up this river. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for the ability to expand the mind and the sight and the voice into existence for you, where there's no guilt, there's no financial issues. We don't need all the stuff that we have. I mean, there are people who have houses and shipping containers and garages and barns and warehouses full of stuff they haven't seen in years. Me too. I've been eliminating my stuff, but I've had so much stuff, it's taken me years just to eliminate the crap I have. And it's such a relief to get rid of it. They're like anchors, you know, we're dragging around with us. We've got emotional issues, we've got junk piled up in the house, and these are visual things that cause us stress. You know, it's like being out in nature, and then all of a sudden you see all these nasty telephone poles and wires everywhere, and it just breaks up the natural landscape that our eyes are supposed to be looking at. No, because it's a disruption, a man-made disruption that has nothing to do with nature. Nature doesn't really have straight lines. It's always twisting and turning and moving and vibrating and doing all the cool things that nature does. And we've been trained to shut up, sit down, do what I tell you, and stop wiggling. That's from the first day of school. It goes completely against nature, and it causes a weird vibration in our body. And while we're sitting in this room, there's 4 walls, right? That's how far we see. And we pick up a book and we hold it close to us, and they tell us their version of history or his story. And we're supposed to believe that. And the better we are at repeating what they're lecturing to us, the higher grade we get. And we forget how to think on our own. We have to go to school. There are so many things that we have to do. And the truth is, there's nothing we have to do. Nothing. You know, back in the industrial age, hospitals would keep the health of the people as healthy as they could. Why? Because people with corporations needed employees, and if you were sick, you couldn't work. So sick time was a big deal. Fast forward all these years later, now you're seeing the population being depleted because machines are taking over our jobs, and they don't need us anymore. We were an asset in the industrial age. We're a liability now, and the only way that they can really make money from us is if we get sick. And that is the whole thing I've been talking about for years. The day they can make more money keeping us in jail and keeping us sick is the day that they can create a workplace where we're not needed. Well, we're getting pretty close to that, and we're seeing it happen. So as the robots and computers take over our jobs, what's going to happen is they don't need us. They don't want us. So we've become that liability I was talking about earlier. When you see 70% of the people with chronic inflammation, and all it takes to get rid of it is proper hydration, nutrition, movement, which we do too much of, rest, which we don't get enough of, and keeping the 13 channels of elimination open in our body that our body needs to use every day to maintain its health. And when they start to get congested, we get congested, and all these acids build in our body, and they burn us. And they melt tissue together, or they blow tissue apart. And if you want to see something really incredibly horrifying, Dr. Morse just posted a 56-minute video on important cases. I'll put a link in the description. And in the first 4 minutes of that video, you're going to see a 24-year-old that modern medicine has been helping. And when you see the condition that this person is in, and he's getting zero help, it is crazy, because none of it had to happen. And this kid's 24 years old. He's from Canada. But check it out, and you'll realize how important what we are doing and what we are expressing as we do these videos, and people write articles, and they're just trying to help people understand that we've been hypnotized into self-doubt and sickness. You know, we think that a pill is going to cure us. That's what we've been trained to believe. So we take the pill. It could be sugar. It could be a shot of saline. It could be a fake surgery. And you get well. How's that happen? Because we are the power. This is the power. Breath. The fountain of youth to me is water. That's it. That's the fountain of youth. They've been looking everywhere for it. They even call it a fountain. But unless you're hydrated, you're not going to do well. You can't. The body needs liquids to stay fluid, to build electricity, to build energy. And as that energy builds in our body, it repairs the tissue. That's it. It doesn't get any simpler than that. You know, they're spending all their time building machines to see smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller issues in the body to do surgery. Well, surgeons can cut out almost anything in the body except the cause. And that's what they're not doing. They're not looking at or attending the cause of what they're cutting out, which they're cutting out the symptom. Doesn't matter if it's tumor or tissue that's welded together. These are all foolish. They're literally foolish things that we've been convinced is the most modern way to take care of the body ever. Well, it's not. Nature is the way to take care of the body. Now, for upper back, this is a big one for a lot of people. Shoulders, neck, tension, headaches. You know, your arms and all across tears, all just incredibly tense from lack of emotional support. And that goes right into finance, it goes right into guilt, and it goes right into feeling a lack of emotional support. Again, if you know anybody with these things, share this video. Hit like, love, because this helps drive it up in the engines in Facebook. And more people will get this, will be able to get this message. And it doesn't matter if it's my video or Dr. Joe's video or whoever. If they're trying to help humanity realize we've been duped into so many things that we feel stuck, we feel like a victim. We're not victims of anything. We're infinite beings in an infinite universe with infinite potential in a world of abundance. I've showed many of you, and let's see if there's any of it around here. I think there might be, but I'm not seeing it right now. But the herbs you want are growing at your feet. They're free. As in knowledge and no cost. I don't see any wood sorrel here. Wood sorrel is kind of a lemony flavor and the leaf is a little hot. And it's good for UTIs and it's good for so many things. And all you got to do is go out and pick it, and throw it in a salad and eat it. It's crazy how simple it is. I'm gonna hang on to my tripod. We've got a wind coming up here. So, when we eliminate our emotional attachment to our fear of money, guilt, and emotional support, and we're standing on our own, and we're aware and we're conscious of our breath and what it looks like and how it's moving in and out of our body. We control that. We can control it. We have been taught not to. And we know shallow breathing causes anxiety and stress. And deep breathing turns on the parasympathetic. You know, that shallow breathing that turns on the sympathetic, which is part of the autonomic nerve. And the parasympathetic is the other half of that. It runs down to the battery in our belly. And the adrenals distribute it. When we get that under control with breath, hydration, and rest, your body will act completely different. Matter of fact, grounding yourself to the ground will, let's say you have red blood cells that are sticking together, right? And they have all kinds of medications for that shit. It's crazy. Take your shoes off, you stand on the ground, and within a minute, all your blood cells will separate. And they'll get to go where they want to go. And if you're doing deep breathing at the same time, you're oxygenating the blood, all of a sudden the red blood cells can go where they need to go, and they'll oxygenate the cells, and they'll do... That's how simple it is. If you ground yourself, and you know the other thing that's crazy too, when you ground yourself to the earth, inflammation will leave your body, because inflammation cannot stay in a body that's grounded to the earth. And you can get grounding mats, you can get a sheet that you can put on your bed, and you ground your bed. You can go outside, but I know there's a lot of people like me that are here in the winter. That winter air is really good for you. It's cold, and what does cold do? Reduces inflammation, just like standing on the ground. There are so many things that we are not privy to that would completely change not just our life and our health, but our ability to think. Confusion in the body is confusion in the mind. And grounding to the earth and breath connects the mind and the body so that you see the world completely different. And you enjoy the world in ways you never thought possible. So, like I say, if there's somebody that could use this, you know, put their name in the description. If it's you, somebody you know, we need to get these messages out to people. And that's my goal. That's why I'm doing these videos. It's crazy what's happening, and how hypnotized we are by the trinkets that they throw around and the words, you know, because we don't know the words they use. And that's part of how they create fear in our bodies. Oh my God, I have this. Oh my God, I have that. No, you have acidosis. And it can be eliminated very easily. Type 2 diabetes. People have had type 2 diabetes for years. 2 or 3 weeks on the right program, you won't have diabetes anymore. Because that's a adrenal pancreas issue. And when they get weak, you can't metabolize sugar. So you help the adrenals and you help the pancreas, and your diabetes goes away. And it is that simple. It's crazy. So I just wanted to do an update on this. I'm sorry I got off on a rant. There was something else I had written down here. Yeah, then all this is created, and you can look up any disease. There's a lack of oxygen. Well, there's a lack of oxygen because we're not breathing properly. So learn your breathing patterns. Learn how to bring that life-giving, cell energy creating breath into your body. Bring it right down into the bottom of your belly, right down into the diaphragm. And your life will change in ways you can't even imagine. And it's free. Drink half your body weight in ounces of water every day. If you weigh 100 pounds, 50 ounces. And it may take you a while to build up to that because we're not used to drinking that much. so many things will go away. Joints will get fluid again, and the Qigong that we're doing, and you can go back and see those in the other videos, and we'll be going up to those again. I'm going to start doing just breath videos. I'm going to start doing just Qigong videos. But I think it's important to explain how simple it is, and because of its simplicity, we are taught to overcomplicate. So we do, we overcomplicate it, because they don't just look at a gene, right? You're not a victim of your genes. It's epigenetics. You control your genes, unless you are convinced and hypnotized to believe that you don't, which is what we've been. Well, now, like people like Joe Dispenza and Greg Braden and Bruce Lipton, there are tons of them, tons out there now. They care as much about the earth and the health of the earth and the electromagnetic field as they do your body, because they understand we are that. The electromagnetic field controls a lot of how we feel, and we're shutting it out. We've got sunscreen and sunglasses and clothes to protect us and hats to protect us, and we're supposed to be in nature. We are supposed to be in nature, in the sun. The sun's been here for billions of years, and don't tell me that in the last 50 it's become so bad that we can't be out in it. It's not true. It's crazy. I know I'm off on a rant here, but these are things that we have to explore and examine and bring into our lives. You know, we speak. Took my breath away. My heart was pounding so hard that I thought it was going to jump out of my chest, you know. When I got the news, I was so sick to my stomach, I didn't know if I could survive. All these things. We speak these all the time. So if you really start listening to what people are saying, you can figure out where their stress is and how you can help them relieve it. And it goes back to the same thing, because they're all cells. You got an issue in the small of your back and it's emotional, you learn to let go of it, and you feed your cells, all cells, doesn't matter, because that's all we are. Proper hydration, nutrition, movement, rest, oxygen, and almost every sick person is on oxygen, right? And keeping the 13 channels of elimination open, and the cells get exactly what they want. Your body gets exactly what it wants, and you become healthy. No pills, no potions, no surgeries, not any of that stuff. So I hope you found this helpful, and that you start breathing and hydrating and really paying attention to what's going on around you, how your breath is moving in and out of your body. Is it shallow? Is it deep? You know, that's why a lot of runners are in somewhat good shape. They have a lot of their own issues, but they're deep breathing all the time. You can't run and be a shallow breather. And that doesn't mean I think you should run, because that burns more energy than your body can produce. Qigong and breath exercises move the liquids in our body. 2/3 of the liquids are between just above our pelvic bone and right below our rib cage. And as we breathe and we're moving that water in and out, all those liquids, they're creating energy. And they're creating and storing more energy than we're burning. But that's not how life works. That's not how corporations want you to work. They want you running and gunning and don't take any breaks, and don't do this and don't do that, and take this pill, and it's crazy. So again, apologize somewhat for the rant, but these are things that need to be said, because we don't have to be defined by what we're being taught. Because we are not that. We never were that. We're not living in a 3D world. We are infinite. Infinite energy, infinite beings, infinite possibilities. And we can do whatever we want once we learn how to master breath, hydration, movement. It goes back to those same things all the time. You know, speaking of acids, look at chemo. Chemo's been around for, I don't know, 50 years, maybe more. They're coming out with a new one all the time. You know why? Because the old one don't work. It's like, how much have they changed aspirin? How much have they changed Tylenol? How much have they changed Pepto-Bismol? They don't. They don't really change those at all. They don't need to. They do what they say they're going to do. They are dangerous, but they still, you know, they'll block pain or reduce swelling. You can do that same thing by standing on the earth in your bare feet or laying down. The exact same thing. Inflammation cannot live in a grounded body. And here's another one. Dis-ease cannot live in an alkaline body or an alkaline environment. You can't do it. It has to have acid. And everything they're doing is dumping acid on acid on acid. It's like the fire department going to a house that's on fire and spraying gasoline on the house, thinking they're going to save it. It's not going to happen. And the people that do make it, they're really damaged. And it's going to take a lot to reverse that. So I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go get ready to do another live video at some point. I'll charge my phone. You guys have been awesome. I appreciate you all being here and commenting and sharing and doing all the things that you do to help yourself and to learn what's really going on in the world right now. Because it is crazy. Okay, I think that's about it. The download has ended. I will see you guys in the next video. Maybe later today. We'll see. But I hope so. Love you all. See you in the next video.